Most people knew Whitney Leavitt as the bright, energetic mom who took over TikTok with her sharp dance moves and unexpected charisma, but almost no one saw what was coming next. One moment, she was celebrating a breakout season of Dancing with the Stars with some of the highest scores of the entire competition, and the next, she was packing her bags after one of the most surprising eliminations fans had seen in years. It looked like the end of a dream. Instead, it became the spark that lit up something far bigger, and the story behind that turning point is way more dramatic than anyone knew. Long before she stepped under the bright studio lights of DWTS, Whitney's world was a mix of motherhood, quiet routines, and the creative spark she kept alive through dance. TikTok was never supposed to change her life. It was just an outlet, a way to reclaim the part of herself she'd put on hold while raising her family. But viewers connected with her instantly. The confidence, the speed, the intensity of her moves, it all felt authentic and it spread fast. The more she danced, the more doors opened. Collaborations piled in, her following exploded, and her videos began circulating far outside her usual audience. Dance made her feel like herself again. It wasn't just a hobby, it was the part of her that had been waiting quietly to be revived. And the moment she said yes to that passion, something unexpected happened behind the scenes. Producers were watching. But her social media rise was only the beginning. Landing a spot on Dancing with the Stars is difficult for anyone, but landing it as a TikTok creator is almost unheard of. Yet Whitney did it. And not only was she cast, she was paired with one of the most respected professionals on the show, Mark Ballas. When fans saw their partnership, they knew something special was coming, but no one predicted just how quickly they'd become a standout team. From week one, their chemistry clicked. Their routines were clean, fierce, and filled with the kind of momentum that judges immediately recognized. As the season went on, Whitney kept raising the bar. By the semifinals, her Argentine tango to cell block tango became one of the most talked about performances of the entire season. Sharp, theatrical, and explosive. So when elimination night arrived, almost no one expected her name to be called. Even longtime fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. Social media erupted instantly, questioning how a top-scoring contestant could be sent home so suddenly. People were just confused. They were actually upset. The shockwaves didn't stop for days. But for Whitney, the real story started after the cameras turned off. Because the moment she left the ballroom, something unbelievable happened next. Leaving DWTS wasn't just disappointing. Whitney described it as heartbreaking. She and Mark had trained intensely, bonded deeply, and built something that felt like far more than just weekly competition routines. As she walked off the set, she felt the same hollow emotional crash that so many contestants quietly talk about, but rarely in public. Mark didn't let her go through it alone. He offered advice, encouragement, and the kind of grounded perspective that only a veteran could give. He reminded her that endings often arrive right before a major shift. He told her to breathe, trust her instincts, and stay open, because sometimes the universe plans a path for you long before you see it. And then, almost out of nowhere, Whitney got a message that didn't feel real. A casting team wanted her in New York immediately for an audition, not for a small role, not for a workshop, for Roxy Hart, one of Broadway's most iconic characters. She flew out the next morning. No time to prepare, no time to doubt herself. Just a room, a panel, a few minutes to prove she belonged on the world's biggest stage. Within 24 hours, the call came back. She got the role. And just like that, the woman who once filmed dances in her living room was set to become the newest Roxy Hart on Chicago on Broadway. But while her Broadway debut was being finalized, the internet was busy stirring up something very different.
The moment Whitney was eliminated from DWTS, debates erupted online. Fans had questions, and they weren't holding back. On TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit, people began sharing their theories about what really happened behind the scenes. Some viewers wondered if the show had other plans for the finale. Others claimed the voting system had issues. A few even suggested that internal dynamics, the kind most people never see, may have influenced the final decision. To be clear, none of these claims were ever confirmed. They grew from fan conversations, viewer frustration, and the confusion surrounding a top-scoring dancer being sent home so close to the finale. But the speculation spread quickly, helped by social media's love of dramatic narratives. There were also rumors about Whitney receiving preferential treatment earlier in the season. Again, unverified claims that circulated mostly among viewers who felt the show had pushed certain storylines harder than others. Whether true or not, the conversations became impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, every new theory added more fuel to the fire, and Whitney's name kept trending for reasons that had nothing to do with her dancing. But while the internet argued, Whitney and Mark were dealing with something far more personal. Once the season ended, Whitney admitted something she hadn't said out loud before. Leaving the show felt like going through a breakup. The rehearsals, the adrenaline, the camaraderie, it all stopped overnight. Her body was used to dancing for hours every day. Her mind was used to the pressure. And when all of that disappeared in a single moment, she said the crash hit her hard. Mark felt it too. For the first time in his career, the online backlash affected him personally. He spoke openly about how difficult it was to watch people attack their partnership, criticize Whitney, or twist their routines into something they weren't. Even he, a seasoned professional who had seen everything in the industry, said the negativity weighed on him. So the two of them decided to reclaim the narrative in a way no one expected. Instead of letting the world talk for them, they revealed their unreleased freestyle dance, the routine they would have performed in the finale, and shared it with fans through the Call Her Daddy podcast. It became their way of closing the chapter with honesty, dignity, and creative expression. But even as they healed, Whitney's life was shifting dramatically behind the scenes. Because Broadway wasn't a dream anymore. It was real, and it was coming fast. When Whitney officially signed on to play Roxy Hart, everything changed. This wasn't a side project, it wasn't a social media collaboration. It was the kind of role that transforms a career, and she was stepping into it with the world watching. The moment she announced it, fans who had mourned her DWTS exit suddenly saw the bigger picture. Her elimination wasn't the downfall they thought it was. It was the setup for something far bigger. She went from reality TV Heartbreak to starring in one of Broadway's most legendary productions, a 6-week run in Chicago, performing live in front of thousands each night, backed by a legacy that has launched countless household names. And the best part? This opportunity didn't come from sympathy or fan outrage. It came because Whitney impressed seasoned theater professionals enough to be trusted with a role that demands charisma, precision, confidence, and storytelling. She earned it, and she earned it in record time. And now the question becomes, where does she go from here? Whitney Leavitt's story is the kind most people don't believe until they see it. A young mom dancing in her living room builds a global audience. That leads to a spot on a major TV competition. A shocking elimination turns the internet upside down. And then out of nowhere, she's stepping into a role that performers spend their entire lives chasing. Her journey shows one simple truth. Sometimes the moment you think your dream is slipping away is the moment life is preparing to hand you something even bigger. Whitney didn't just pivot, she transformed. She turned controversy into momentum, heartbreak into clarity, and a surprise ending into a brand new beginning. Now all eyes are on her. Will Broadway be a one-time triumph or the start of a completely new era in her career? Will she return to reality TV or carve out a place in the theater world? Or will she surprise everyone again and take a path no one expects? No one knows yet, and that's exactly what makes her story so compelling. Because if there's one thing Whitney has proven, it's that the next chapter is always closer than you think.